Long ago, in different parts of the world, two great philosophies were born. One came from ancient Greece and Rome, called Stoicism. The other came from ancient India, called Buddhism. At first glance, they seem very different. One was founded by thinkers like Zeno and Marcus Aurelius, the other by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. But if we look deeper, we find that Stoicism and Buddhism share many ideas. They both teach us how to live a good life, how to face suffering, and how to find peace in a world full of chaos. Stoicism began in Athens around 300 BCE. The Stoics believed that the key to happiness was understanding what we can control and what we cannot. They taught that our emotions come from our judgments. If we think something is bad, we suffer. If we accept things as they are, we find peace. The Stoics practiced self-discipline and focused on virtue, being wise, just, courageous, and temperate. They believed that nature has a plan, and we must accept it without complaint. Buddhism began in India around 500 BCE. The Buddha taught that life is full of suffering, but this suffering comes from desire. If we stop clinging to things, wealth, power, even our own thoughts, we can end suffering. The Buddha's path was one of mindfulness, meditation, and ethical living. Like the Stoics, he believed that our minds create our pain. If we change how we see the world, we change how we feel. One of the strongest connections between Stoicism and Buddhism is their view of desire. The Stoics called it passions, strong emotions like fear, anger, and greed that disturb our peace. They believed we should master these passions, not let them control us. The Buddha called it tanha, craving. He said craving leads to suffering, and the only way to be free is to let go. Both philosophies teach that wanting less, not more, is the path to happiness. Another connection is their focus on the present moment. The Stoics said we must focus on what is happening now, not what might happen in the future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not disturb yourself by thinking of the whole of your life. Let each thing you do be the last thing you do." The Buddha taught mindfulness, being fully aware of the present without judgment. He said the past is gone, the future is not here, so we must live in the now. Both Stoicism and Buddhism also teach acceptance. The Stoics believed in Amor fati, love of fate. Whatever happens, we should accept it as if we had chosen it ourselves. This does not mean we do not act, but we do not resist reality. The Buddha taught that suffering comes from resisting the way things are. If we accept life's impermanence, we suffer less. They also share the idea of detachment. The Stoics said we should care about virtue, not external things like money or fame. These things can be taken away, but our character cannot. The Buddha taught non-attachment, holding things lightly, knowing nothing lasts forever. There are differences, of course. Stoicism is more active, telling us to engage with the world, but remain unaffected. Buddhism is more about stepping back, observing the mind, and finding stillness. Stoicism does not speak of rebirth or karma, while Buddhism does. But at their core, both are practical philosophies, not just theories. They are meant to be lived. Imagine two travelers walking different paths up the same mountain. One comes from the west, one from the east. The paths are different, but the view from the top is the same. Stoicism and Buddhism are like that. They use different words, different cultures, but they point to the same truth. That peace comes from within, that suffering is in the mind, and that freedom is possible if we train ourselves to see clearly. Today, many people find wisdom in both philosophies. Modern Stoics practice meditation, a tool from Buddhism. Buddhists read Marcus Aurelius and find his words familiar. The lessons of both are timeless because human suffering is timeless. We still fear, we still desire, we still struggle with pain. But these ancient teachings remind us we are not powerless. We can change how we think, how we act, how we live. In the end, Stoicism and Buddhism are not just philosophies. They are ways of life. They teach us to be calm in the storm, to find light in the darkness, and to walk through life with wisdom and courage. They show us that the greatest freedom is not in controlling the world, but in mastering ourselves. And perhaps that is the most important lesson of all. So whether you walk the path of the Stoics or the path of the Buddha, remember, the destination is the same. A mind at peace, a heart unshaken, and a life well lived. That is the connection between Stoicism and Buddhism. That is the wisdom they share. And that is the gift they offer to all who seek truth.